Doing little girl's hair really was challenging, but I learned some things along the way. I'm gonna give you some tips, some tricks to be able to help understand how hair works and making sure your daughter looks presentable when she goes out in public. But intro first, content after. Hi guys, I'm about to talk about one of the most challenging things that I ever had to do was doing my daughter's hair, doing my daughter's curly hair, all right? And so it's a whole different ballgame with curly hair. But before we do that, I'm gonna tell you about my channel. We have relationships, single dad, that's what I am, that's who I am, and what I'm proud to be. We got personal growth and also attachment theory. Now, I really would like for everybody to funnel into attachment theory because I feel like it's such an ingrained and fundamental understanding about who you are and can benefit all your relationships. To be honest, that's really the focus on this is funneling people there. But please check out the attachment theory. There is a easy breakdown of it and try to understand. If it doesn't make sense to you, it's fine, but check it out. If it makes sense, start to do more research on it. I'm gonna bring more content about that down the road. But anyways, back to the hair. Hair, okay? Foreign world. Okay, so what I'm gonna break down is understanding hair, and then I'm gonna break it down further to taking care of hair, and then maintaining hair. Now, I'm gonna tell you, I'm not an expert at this, all right? There's other channels that you can look at. I'm just gonna break this down fundamentally for any noobs, single dads, people that don't know anything about hair. I'm gonna break it down so what I had to do to understand. So let's get into it. Understanding hair. Now, when I first started looking at my daughter's hair when she was 2, I was like, man, what do I need to do with this? And so I went on Facebook and asked a bunch of people I know. I was like, what should I do for my daughter? And all of them told me, oh, try this product, try that product. But what I've learned is most, and not to be sexist or anything like that, I'm very careful about that because I have a daughter and I respect women. I found out that they didn't know much about hair as they thought they did. And I didn't realize most women actually go to beauty salons and get somebody else to do their hair. And I really couldn't do that because it was during COVID, but she was still going to daycare, and I didn't want her to look like Boo Boo the Fool. And anyways, but I wouldn't want her to look like that. So I started to understand a little bit about porosity. Now, porosity tells you how porous or how much pores or how much holes are in your hair. If you have straight hair, you have less pores, so it actually looks shiny, but also can look oily very quickly because there's nothing taking up the moisture that's in the hair. And as you move further down to more coarse and more curly hair, the more holes there are. And I think I'm more like about breakages off on like a stem. There's more breakages in the situation. So that means if you have drying agents like calcium get in hair that's more porous, it means it can get to more deeper parts of the hair, which can make your hair look unhealthy. That's why you have straight hair, it's less likely to do those things, but still possible. So, the next thing I want to say, there's different types of hair. If you look at this chart, it kind of tells you like a different range of where hair is. My daughter is between 2 and 3, and so a little bit wavy and curly depending on what's going on, but more on the curly side. She's half Middle Eastern, half black, so she has really nice hair, but if you don't do it right, it doesn't look very nice at all. So, but another thing I want to make sure people understand to fundamentally break down is how can it be healthy? So the healthier hair is, like with vitamin E, I heard about apple cider vinegar, but what's going on is you're trying to close up those pores more to make your hair more healthy. So that's why when you have straighter hair, you can wash your hair every day and be okay because you don't worry about things being dried out. You worry about more about buildup and gunk and all this stuff that you probably put in your hair. While if you try to do that too much with coarse hair, that means it can get more into those crevices and dry it out. So what I'm gonna tell you, everybody's hair is different, and so you need to find a way what's best for you. And this is kind of like psych medications. There's no guidelines for this for the most part. It's trial and error. Try this and that. But by understanding this, at least you know what your goals are, is to make your hair healthier and close up those holes. Or if you try to like put in other things in it. So we'll talk more about that in a bit, but that's understanding the hair. It's really about the pores and how porous it is, how curly it is, will depend on how do you help treat it. People say products and this and that product. I think as long as it doesn't dry it out, keep it moisturized. If you have curly hair and doesn't have a lot of buildup, that's the goal. And you want to just mess with it less as possible, less is more if you can. Now that's understanding like hair. And this is a basic breakdown. It's not going into detail. This is a basic man's guide to actually do this, right? So taking care of hair. I'm gonna break that into two different parts, right? That's gonna be the washing part and how often should you manipulate and what things you should consider when you actually do day-to-day information. Now let's start off with the shampoo and conditioner. Now, I like to use a cleansing conditioner depending on how old the child is, because washing shampoo and then conditioner can take a lot of time. Cleansing conditioner, really and truly, with cleansing, you're just trying to get all the gunk out, make sure there's no dandruff, make sure you clean, make sure it's clean. But by doing a lot of those things, it makes the hair dry out, which makes it look unhealthy. So if you can find a way to cleanse the hair, get all that junk out while also conditioning, now you get a double whammy. Now, it won't probably be as good as just a regular conditioner at making your hair like smooth and nice to touch, but that's where you do the prep afterwards, which I'll talk about in a minute. So it's usually easier to, before you go into the shower, to wash your hair by kind of untangling it outside for a little bit as much as you can, right? And comb through with your fingers. All right, if you do like a comb, you might miss some snags that will cause pain, and that can cause more problems because now when enough pain with it, they don't want to do their hair. So I usually use my fingers to feel where the knots are and try to break through, right? Now it's gonna be a lot harder if it's not wet, and you also can break some of the hair, which can cause split ends, which can make the hair look unhealthy if you do too much, right? So, but try to break up this big chunks as much as possible, then put it in the shower. And then shampoo and conditioner. I use a cleansing conditioner. I just leave it on the hair and just let it kind of stick there, kind of comb through. And then once I comb through my fingers and kind of get the big chunks, then I will hold the base of the head with the hair, and then I'll use a pick a lot of the times. But the longer the hair, long tooth comb is a little bit better. But I use a pick because it's longer, and the closer it gets to the base of the pick, it can actually cause it to get stuck and cause more pulls and breaking hair. So you hold the base, and then you just pull it down. Maybe I'll do a video. I might wash her hair tomorrow so I can add those videos of what I'm doing. But I'll just hold the base, because if you hold the base, it won't pull at the base of her hair, which will cause her to have pain, and just kind of go through. And then I like to keep doing it until I can get the pick to go through every piece of the hair without any snags. And don't forget to go underneath the hair, because sometimes you'll miss it, so get that too at the same time to make sure the hair looks really combed through. And then once that's done, rinse it off. Once you rinse it off, now what you want to do is you want to make sure you don't use a towel on the hair. Putting on the towel and the cotton on the hair with all those little fibers is going to actually cause the hair to become frizzy. It's really good to just get a regular cotton shirt and then wrap it around. And I'll show you what I'll do is, but I put the top of the shirt here, and then I take the arm part of the shirt, and then I wrap it underneath the hair, and then I wrap it up here so it kind of like stays on like a little cap. And then you can roll the back and put it on top if you want to. Anyways, I really would try to do a video to make sure this makes more sense. Then what we do is we get out of the shower, and then I usually have everything kind of prepped already for her, what I'll probably need, and then I sit down. Now, the one thing you'll hear a lot is like leave-in conditioner, leave-in conditioner, leave-in conditioner. It's basically what they can, anything they can leave in the hair that will help the hair stay moisturized. And I think they just use it left and right. Oh, this is leave-in conditioner, this is leave-in conditioner. Basically, moisturizing is conditioner, so they just whatever they use. Now, what I like to do, I take the cleansing conditioner, or use a conditioner that I really like, and I put it 1 part conditioner and then 10 parts water into a spray bottle. I like the spray that actually does a mist. I have one that actually does a mist and also can do a shot. I usually don't do shot very much, but the mist is nice because it kind of gets the water nicely over the hair, and it just kind of just soaks in instead of just trying to like spray it, and it gets like really. But anyways, it's really good. And so now managing the hair. When you manage the hair, you have an option. You can keep the hair. Again, this is curly hair. You can keep it down, or keep it up. Now, single dads, I'm gonna tell you right now, learn to braid, because keeping that hair up will save you so much time. And when you take it down, it's like it's no knots or anything like that. It's minimum knots, so it's easy to break through the knots and get it done. Please learn to plait, which is like a regular braid. Then learn Dutch or French. I like Dutch. It looks better. Dutch is when it kind of bulges out. French is when you like braid in the hair. Because if you braid it to the scalp, it's less likely to get like this cotton lint in between it, like regular braids would. So just learn. I'm telling you, learn it. I know it's gonna suck. Take a weekend, or take a month, take 2 months, 3 months. Learn these skills because it's gonna save you so much time on the back end. Because if I braid her hair properly in a good way, I won't have to touch that hair for maybe a week, sometimes even 2 weeks if I maintain it properly, which we'll talk about in a minute. So learn to braid, and the better you learn to braid, you can do some cool things. And I'll show some pictures of things that I've learned the before and after. But if you want to keep the hair down, sometimes I do that for like picture day or a Sunday or some type of event. I'll put it down, but it's a hassle depending how old they are, because sometimes they don't manage it. They're rolling on the ground like a dog and all this other stuff, right? So if you're gonna keep it down, it's gonna be a lot more maintenance. I say you have to comb it through, put some gel in it, and because you're putting stuff in it to kind of keep the curls where it needs to be, it's gonna have more buildup, and you have to wash the hair more often. I mean, sometimes when I braid my daughter's hair, and that, again, it's all about individualistic, and depends on what's going on with you. You may have a daughter that only needs to wash her hair once a month, and some people need two weeks, depending which products you use. It's gonna adjust, all right? So I mean, but I think the longer you can go with the hair looking healthy, which I think if it looks as shiny as it can be for your daughter, the healthier it is, the longer it is, without putting extra products in it or putting any shampoo and conditioner, the better it is. All right, but you just don't want to get dirty and things like that. Side note, lice doesn't come from dirty hair. It actually comes from clean hair. That's a misconception, that they like to lay the eggs in clean hair. So if you wash your hair too much without any moisture, because if it's dry and clean, that's what they really like. Now, if you do that, you make sure you just mix some moisture and to put in the hair after you keep washing it in general. So I didn't think black people could get lice, but I've learned from one of my friends that you can, and if you wash it too often, that could be problematic. So it's some things you take in consideration. But if you put it hair down, I use the comb through it and then go from there. But you'll have to wrap it up at nighttime differently, which we'll talk about in the maintenance phase. Hopefully this makes sense. I'm gonna keep going. Now, maintaining, the last part. Maintaining it, it's a bunch of different things. And I say this could be like a whole thing in itself, but get satin pillowcases, all right? Because satin pillowcases, when they lay on it, it doesn't actually cause frizziness and causes the hair to pull, and it's a little more slick. And so it'll keep the hair, if you have it braided or even have it up, it'll keep it from having problems. Now, depending on how old the kid is, right? Now, satin pillowcases were good for my daughter. She was 2. She didn't want to put any caps on or things like that. That was problematic. Now, there's also wraps. So it took me a long time to understand this. Now, when your daughter's able to put it on, she's okay with keeping it on, you want to wrap the hair tight. All right, now, if you are keeping the hair down, you kind of want to, I usually put it like in a plait braid, or I'll roll it in a circle and put it on top, because you want the hair on top as much as possible, because when you're rolling back and forth, it's going to be less likely to pull off whatever you did and make it more frizzy. So they call it a pineapple or whatever case it be, right? Find a way to be able to do that. Again, there's a bunch of videos on it. Check that out. And so, but then I usually put a cap on top of it, which I'll take pictures of these things so you can see what I've been using. And so, and then go from there. Now, there's other things too with shears, making sure you have scissors, don't use paper with, but like to cut it. That's more advanced things I started doing when I got a little more advanced with hair. But how often you should mess with the hair depends on what's going on. So things with shampoo I've got to talk about was that you want to make sure that you do the shampoo conditioner for at least 2 months, because it takes a little while for your hair to really see the benefits of that shampoo or the effects of it. Now, if the hair becomes more dried out, then stop it immediately. Now, but if it's like still the same, you don't see any benefit with it, you want to continue using it for a little bit to see what the benefits are, and then make adjustments from there. And this is really just trial and error. But take care of the hair is key, and I like to keep it in braids. And sometimes I'll put little mini braids where I'll take a picture of that, and it lasted for a month without any problems. But sometimes when you have like these braids, lint gets in it, and then you're trying to pull out the lint, and then it's harder to comb through over time if you don't really mess with it. If you put it in a bun, if you put it in a bun in like a wrap, this is some satin scrunchies you can use, which I really like. You can put that in the bun, but you can leave that in there for probably 2 days. Longer than that, that's when you'll start having a lot of like lint and stuff like that start to collect. So you need to take it out every day. I prefer every day, and put on the scrunchie to be able to make it work. All right, so again, I know there's a lot of information. Please tell me if I missed anything, or if there's anything else you want to hear about, what I have to learn about doing hair. I'll show you some videos and things like that, what I've done. If you go to Z Changed Me on Instagram, I got some videos and pictures what I would do over time, what I've learned. But you can go check that out. Just make sure you understand the hair if you're a guy, all right? Because we have to understand certain things. To find out what style of hair they have, make sure you look at how porous the hair is and what you can do to help make the hair more healthy in a way that can save you time because you are a single dad, but also making sure that you set your daughter's up hair for success when she's able to take over the reins when she gets old enough, which my daughter can't get there fast enough. I want her to stay small, but I mean the hair part, that is that's part of the thorn in my thigh. Out of all things, if I could just have like that done automatically, that's gonna be awesome. But guys, please let me know if this helps. If you have any other questions that I missed or anything you want me to break down even further, or put in the comments, and if I can answer in the comments, I will as much as I can. And hopefully this was helpful. Please send this to somebody who is a single dad that's trying to understand about hair, and if they need a resource from that perspective. I'm not the guru, but at least I can break some things down fundamentally for them. And if you want more information about something else, let me know. So I think I'm gonna do like potty training and crib to bed and getting your kid to sleep in her room by herself. All these things I had to learn how to do. But that's going to be down later. Again, thank you for your time. Thank you for sitting through this. I appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you in future videos. And as I end all my videos and my content, if you have kids, and if you're a single dad, you have a kid, love them. I slow down, love them, and give them a hug from me. All right, until next time, and I'll see you when I see you.
You need to open up your own salon and do girls' hair.